Line in the sand synopsis. In the heart of a racially tense small town in Alabama, a hard-working black father, Malcolm Hayes, finds himself the target of a notorious white supremacist gang. When his family's safety is threatened, he refuses to back down, forcing the gang to realize that fear is a two-way street. Story the sun had long set over the quiet town of Ashford, Alabama. Malcolm Hayes sat on his porch, sipping a cold beer, listening to the cicadas hum in the thick summer air. Inside, his wife, Angela, read bedtime stories to their two children. Jaden and Maya. Malcolm had grown up in this town, endured its prejudices, and built his life despite them. He worked as a mechanic, owned his shop, and never caused trouble. But trouble had a way of finding men like him lately. Rumors had spread about the Iron Fangs, a gang of white supremacists, targeting black families who forgot their place. Malcolm knew their type cowards who thrived on fear then. One evening, the fear came knocking. A truck rumbled down the dirt road, its headlights off. Malcolm recognized the sound of an old Chevy engine, the kind that always came with bad news. He set his beer down and walked to the edge of his porch. 5 men stepped out, tattoos of swastikas and Confederate flags inked across their arms. Their leader, a thick-necked man named Travis Boone, smirked. "You think you can live here like you're one of us?" Travis spat, flipping a baseball bat over his shoulder. "Thought we'd remind you how things work." Malcolm didn't flinch. He didn't yell. He just stepped back inside his house, closing the door behind him. Travis chuckled. "Yeah, that's what I thought then." The porch light flicked off a second later. The front door opened again, and Malcolm stepped back out with a 12-gauge shotgun in his hands. The men froze. "You came to teach me a lesson?" Malcolm's voice was calm, steady, then "Come on. Make your move." Travis hesitated. The other men shifted uneasily. They had expected fear, begging, maybe even Malcolm running. "Not this. You got one chance," Malcolm continued, racking the shotgun, the sound echoing in the night. "You cross that fence, and I promise you, not one of you walks away whole." The gang looked at each other. Their bravado cracked. The image of a black man standing firm, unshaken, was something they weren't prepared for. "You ain't worth it," Travis muttered, backing away one by one. The gang piled into their truck and sped off, kicking up dust behind them. Malcolm watched until their taillights disappeared. Then he went back inside, set the shotgun on the table, and kissed his wife on the forehead. "Everything all right?" she asked, concern in her eyes. "Yeah," Malcolm nodded. "They won't be back, and they never were, because that night, the Iron Fangs learned something they never expected. Fear doesn't belong to just one side. Theme and message this story is about standing your ground, protecting what matters, and defying hate with strength and dignity. Malcolm doesn't go looking for trouble, but when it comes to his doorstep, he makes sure it never comes back. Would you like any changes or additions?